guys, this is Sid from svtperformance.com, and as you can see, we're in Bradenton, Florida at the NMRA Spring Break Shootout, and we'll take you guys on a tour just around the vendor section and down through some of the racers. I just want you guys to see how busy it is here on a Saturday and why you should be making the trip out here. So we're in the media tower right now, but we're going to head downstairs, start our little walkthrough. It is super windy out here today, as you can see by the trees blowing, so sorry if you hear that in the mic, but it is what it is. So head down off the tower, as you can see, VP Fuels, big sponsor here. If you head back this way, over all this, we have fuel pumps, all that kind of stuff, and a ton of racers. Ton of racers down on that east side of the track, but we're going to take a walk on the west side. You can see we got Vaughn Gittin Jr. over here. JLT Performance set up over this way. Behind the winner's circle, we have Mickey Thompson. So if you need to get some new tires, Mickey Thompson has you covered for the race. They will mount them for you. Great place to go shopping because they cut some super deals on pretty much everything that they have in that trailer. You'll see it when we walk around this side of the winner's circle. But it is super crowded this weekend. It's a really great turnout. But as you can see, you want some tires, want to mount it, they can do that. We've got CFM Performance, there's Hector, or valve cover breathers. Let me give you a little closer look at these things. If you don't want to run like catch cans or anything, these CFM breathers are a great option. They have them for a ton of different makes, models, you know, pretty much anything from Coyotes, 4 valves, 3 valves. Just look them up, CFM Performance, valvecoverbreathers.com. Hector's a great guy. Worked with him on a lot of stuff in the past. But there's just a ton of vendors down this way. And like I said, everybody usually cuts pretty good deals during these race weekends because they like to have the foot traffic through the booths and, you know, saves you a ton on shipping. If they've got it in stock, you can take it home today. You got UPR products, Aeromotives down here with some fuel system components. The important thing about companies like Aeromotive being here is just to support the racers, because you know, you lose your A1000 or something, it's important to have one right here that you can just pick up, throw in the car, and keep racing. But it just keeps going on around this way. We're going to head over through here, across the staging lanes. Here's something I've noticed in the last year or so. The golf cart pit vehicle has been replaced by the smart car. Thank you, smart car. There's tons of them, and there's a pretty good reason for that. Golf carts, for whatever reason, are insanely expensive for what they are. Even a used one in good shape is like $3,500. And a 10-year-old smart car is about the same price. Plus you can drive it on the street, and plus it has air conditioning and heat. So this weekend, as you can see, everybody's wearing hoodies. It's kind of cold, so having a nice heated place to sit when you're in the staging lanes is not bad. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is here. You know, you guys know him from drifting, but he's going to be drag racing this weekend. I'm not sure which car he's going to run. I'm sure it's one of his many RTR cars, but he is around somewhere. Got Nitto tires showing off some of their products. This is my current favorite truck tire, the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. I have these on my F350, and we're going to be doing a more thorough review on those later. Of course, the always popular NT05Rs and everything else, more grappler tires. But like I said, we're going to do a full review on that Ridge Grappler tire. Like I said, currently that is my absolute favorite truck tire. But we'll get more into that later. Let's take a look at some of the racers. This is not bad. Nice little twin turbocharged GT500. Of course, that is not a 4-valve mod motor in that thing, but it should run pretty good. Cross back over here. We've got vendors all down this way. And tons of racers. This goes on for a long time. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of the perspective of how big this event is. And if you've never been to this NMRA Spring Break Shootout, it's pretty special. We got John Uris Hellion Turbo Turn 14 car. There's John, the man himself, turning wrenches himself. Of course, we've got Haley is pitted here. Her car, I think, is in the staging lanes right now. I'm going to try to refrain from just naming everybody down through here because there's just so many people. I don't want to leave anyone out. You guys know how that is. Looking back this way, Tremec, turn 14 again. We got Ken with Palm Beach Dyno. He's got his GT500 over here. JLT Performance, they have their GT500. They also brought a Hellcat. Jay's supposed to be racing that next weekend at the NMCA race. And we might come back down for that. I'm not quite sure yet, but it's possible. Vendors all over the place. Yeah, this is Ken's car. Prototype JLT intake on it. And of course Jay, he's got his, and it of course has the more complete box. This thing is actually made in 4 sections and glued together. This is closer to what the actual finished product will be. But still they're in design and testing phases. But this thing almost looks like a production cold air intake for a GT500. It looks a lot better. And I like this cover for the stock radiator overflow bottle. It looks like an aluminum tank, but it's really just a plastic cover, and it makes it fit in with everything else under the hood way better. Same with these covers for the strut tower caps, for the strut towers. But it's just a lot better looking setup. And Jay's over here selling his intakes and whatnot. This Explorer ST, you guys saw we posted about it last week. Not this exact one, but we had a test video, things like that on YouTube, so definitely check that out. It's on the channel. This one's been tuned, again, by Ken at Palm Beach Dyno. This thing yesterday, I'm not sure what it's running now, but yesterday I saw it cut a 1224. So not bad at all for a 3-row V6 all-wheel drive SUV. So as far as you can see down this way, car show cars. I will be doing another video later today. We're going to walk through there and just take a look, see what's in the car show. I walked through a little bit earlier this morning before they were all set up, and there's definitely some stuff to see, and I'll point out some stuff that you probably don't want to see too. So look for that in a little bit. Watson Racing here with their Cobra Jet. Only 6 cars showed up for Cobra Jet Shootout this year. Heard a lot of guys are changing their setups and working on them and everything, so maybe later on in the year we'll see more Cobra Jets. But those are always cool cars. Headed on down. This just goes on for, well, basically the length of the entire track. So you've got a half mile of racers, and it's awesome. This is something anybody who is a fan of performance Fords of every year make and model should definitely try to make it out to one of these races. We have VMP over here. We'll stop by and say hi to those guys. But there's just a great feeling of camaraderie. Plus, who doesn't like being around all these fast cars? I mean, we were actually staying at the track. It's my first time staying at the NMRA race. Brought an RV in this weekend. And let me tell you, there is nothing like waking up at 7:30 in the morning to the smell of VHT being laid down on the track. Head over here. You can see Rebecca's here leaning on GT500. Got the Olden supercharger on Project Loki here. They've turned it up just a little bit this weekend, nothing crazy. VMP's gonna be running both these cars in True Street just to play around. They're not out trying to set records or anything, but more or less just get more testing data on both the GT500 and the Odin supercharger. But these things still got tons and tons of development parts, so the more they can run them, the better off they'll be. Currently, the GT500 is running E85. I think it cranked the boost up a little bit. I know it's making over 900 to the wheels. Running it in True Street on the factory tires, there's probably a pretty good chance that it's not going to hook up with the factory tire setup. But that's what this whole weekend's about. Just come out, test what you've got, have some good time, see a lot of people that you haven't seen in a year or so. We're going to talk about that thing later. And just check this out. This is another great thing about the coming to an NMRA race. Everything is open. So you've got spectators, car show people, just fans, and the racers all mixing and mingling. If you've got a question about a particular setup on your car and these guys have something similar, just stop in the pits and talk to people, man. This is a super, super friendly place to hang out and just learn about the latest and greatest in high performance Ford technology. Tons of it going on. And I could just keep walking and showing more and more of this stuff. But honestly, you really need to get out here. You need to get out and check out one of these races. There's quite a few of them all over the country. I'm a huge fan of coming to the Bradenton race because we're right here at the end of February. It's 2020. It's been cold up in the Northeast and you got a ton of these people coming down. This is their literally spring break. That's why it's named the Spring Break Shootout. It's your opportunity to get out of the cold Northeast, head down to sunny Florida. True, it's only in the 60s, but if you live in Massachusetts or somewhere, 60 degrees in February, that's warm. And the DA has been ridiculous for these cars making early morning passes. I know yesterday, I think we were at negative 785. So cars are running fast this weekend. Definitely put this one on your schedule for next year. If you've never been to an NMRA race, this is a great one to check out. I have two favorites. This race in Bradenton and the final race in Bowling Green, Kentucky, the actual finals. The two big reasons I like those races, for one, the location of this one's great. But it's first race of the season. Everybody's testing new setups. So you get a lot of people just experimenting and trying new things, especially new parts that have been developed over the winter. So it's always cool to see that. And then the finals in Bowling Green is always a neat setup because it's the end of the season. These guys are racing for championships. So if you gotta go fast. You're gonna go all out, and you see a lot of carnage and a lot of guys taking some chances. You'll see a lot of blown motors, but it's just pushing it. It's that racer's edge. You gotta go to the limit if you wanna win that championship, and that's what's great about that one at the end of the season. So if you have to check out one or two, I suggest the bookends, first and last. There's a lot of great ones in the middle. Georgia is a great one because it's combined with NMCA. It's always a big show out because they're basically having two races in one weekend. So you'll not only, NMRA is Ford only, but when they do the combined NMRA, NMCA events, you get Ford, Dodge, Chevy, everything, and it's a huge, huge event. A lot of Cobra Jets, Copo Camaros, things like that, drag pack Dodges. That's a good one to check out as well. But the important thing is just get out here and check out one of these races. You can walk around, talk to people, buy some cool parts, make some friends. Fantastic opportunity. Definitely come check it out. Like I said, this is Sid. We're in Bradenton, Florida. NMRA Spring Break Shootout 2020. Having a great time. We're going to walk you through the car show next, so keep a lookout for that video. Until then, head over to svtperformance.com and check out all the latest news, reviews, and information on your favorite Ford performance-related vehicles.